Hello everyone, Doug King here, Week 9 current events video. I chose to do this week's current events video on an article out of the Indy Star of a fire lieutenant from the Fishers Fire Department, which is in Indiana. There was a lieutenant there named Brandon Anderson who was involved in a motorcycle accident and suffered some pretty severe trauma to his lower leg, which actually wound up to his lower leg being amputated, his right lower leg. The article has to do with him returning to full duty after an amputation. So I don't know if this has happened before, but it's the first time I've heard of it. I've heard of police officers going back to full duty after an amputation of a leg, but this may be the first time I've heard of a firefighter going back to full duty. And he was able to to make it back to full duty within 1 year of his amputation, which I find very incredible that he was able to get back in that amount of time. Also, with the year, I know our department in particular, I don't know about some of your guys' department, but our department has a 1 year window for returning to work after an injury. So if you are injured either on the job or off the job, you basically have 1 year to show that you are going to be able to return to full duty or they will medically separate you. So you have 1 year that you can be on light duty. At the end of that year, you have to have a return to full duty date. If you do not have a date that you can return to the full duty by the end of that year, they can medically separate you. Now, there have been a couple of people that they've kind of worked with that the doctor was like, yes, they're making progress. I can't give you an exact date, but I can tell you that they probably will be able to return to full duty. I just need an extension. And the department has accommodated that. But you do have to be making some progress after 1 year. So the fact that he did this in 1 year is pretty incredible. I don't know if your department has anything like that or not. So in that time after he lost his leg, he had to get a prosthetic for that right lower leg, and he has a special adaptation. I guess it's almost like a second prosthetic that is inside his bunker boot, and he detaches his prosthetic that he wears and attaches to the one that's already in the bunker boot when he goes to get in his bunker pants. One thing that he did have to do before returning to full duty is he had to take the department's physical agility again and pass it with the prosthetic. So pretty challenging there. One of the cool things that I thought out of this story is his brothers at the station, the guys that worked with him, and the women that worked with him, they rallied around him and helped him train and work out and get prepared for that physical agility so that when it came time for him to take that, he would be able to pass it. And he did. He took that physical agility, he passed it, and was able to return to full duty, which is pretty cool after losing a leg. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I've actually thought about this before. Like, what would happen if you did lose a leg or an arm? What would you do with your life? Would you return to duty? I put all this time and effort into training for one particular job, and then what if an injury leads me away from that job? So it's kind of cool to know that this guy suffered an amputation of the leg and was able to return to duty. Let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments. Also, I'm curious to know if your departments have a time limit on how long you can remain on injury leave or on light duty. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.